This video is for simplifying fractions. Sometimes you'll be given a fraction that has big numbers that can be simplified into smaller numbers. So a fraction is always split into equal parts. So in this example, the denominator is 30, so that means there are 30 pieces, but since it's a fraction, you can assume every piece is the same size. In this example, 10 of the pieces are colored in, and there are 30 pieces total. But you can kind of see with these thicker black lines, and if you squint a little bit, this could also be written as 1/3. Because if all of these 10 pieces are the same size, and there are 10 pieces in each of these 3 sections, then you can say that one piece out of the 3 is colored in. So 1/3 is the simplest way of writing this fraction. I'm going to show you how to simplify fractions without using this picture, but these pictures are to show you why it works. So here's another example. There are 12 equal pieces and 3 of them are colored in. But can you see from this picture a simpler way of writing this fraction? Look at this one piece and then think how many of this colored section could you fit in the whole thing? You could also write this as 1/4. So this green section, there exactly 4 of them would fill up the circle. Now, to simplify a fraction, you find the greatest common factor of the numerator and denominator, and as a reminder, the greatest common factor is the largest number that divides evenly into both of these numbers. And then, once you've found the greatest common factor, you divide the top and bottom by that number. So let's do an example. If your fraction is 10 out of 30, what's a number that divides evenly into both 10 and 30? In this case, it's 10. You could also use a multiplication chart to help you. So I've decided that my greatest common factor is 10. Now I divide the top and bottom by this number. So I do numerator divided by 10 and denominator divided by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 30 divided by 10 is 3. So the simpler version of this fraction is 1/3. How would we do 3/12? What's the largest number that divides evenly into 3 and 12? It is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So, greatest common factor is 3. Now we divide top and bottom by 3. 3 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3, 1. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 1/4 is a simpler form of 3/12. What about 10 and 45? Another thing that you can do is you can just find any number that divides into both of these and simplify it. And once you've got your simplified fraction, you can check again and see if there's another number that you can still divide by. So for 10 divided by 45, I'm going to start with 5. And then I will do 10 divided by 5. So I'm dividing top and bottom by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And 45 divided by 5 is 9. So my simplified fraction is 2/9. Now, could this be simplified any more? Well, the only thing that divides into 1 and 2 is 2. And 2 does not divide evenly into 9. So this is simplified. Let's do 24 divided by 33. This is where it's really handy to have your times tables memorized. But again, you can always use your multiplication chart. And on your chart, you can find 24 and 33 in the middle and see if there's any number that lines up to both of them. In this case, 3 works, so I'm going to start with 3. So we'll do 24 divided by 3, which is 8. 33 divided by 3 is 11. Now, is there any number that divides evenly into 8 and 11? No. 11 is a prime number, and nothing else goes into both of those. So that's your final answer. I'm going to do one more example of where you have to simplify it twice. So let's say you're given 20 divided by 80. So you can go, well, okay, I know 10 goes into both of those, so I'm going to divide both by 10. Top and bottom divided by 10. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. 80 divided by 10 is 8. But then this can still be simplified because they're both even, so they're both divisible by 2. So now I'm going to divide top and bottom by 2. And I'll get 1 over 4. And now my fraction is in its simplest form. So it's okay, you don't have to find the greatest common factor. You can divide by one number, see what you have left, and then see if you can keep dividing it by a common factor. All right, thank you.